Hey everyone, welcome back to Deep Dives. Today we're covering Registeel, something that's a little bit less popular but has started to kind of become a trend. So if you want to see more deep dives, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications for when new videos go live. Leave a comment down below who you want to see me cover next week. So Registeel. Registeel is a very bulky Pokemon that does one thing really well, just stall out the game. Between Iron Defense and Amnesia boosts and Body Press, Registeel eventually will win the game. It doesn't have the best in terms of recovery, but because the fact that you can get to +6 in either defenses really quickly with leftovers and protect means you can just kind of stall that game out and become the super grind. Outside of being a stall wall, though, Registeel doesn't do a whole lot. It's kind of just there as a Pokemon. It has really good resistances as a Steel type. And its overall natural bulk is really powerful, so if you can position correctly and abuse these to your advantage, Registeel can even just be a normal team partner on most teams. For the kind of just like looking at Registeel like as a whole, we didn't really get to see anything out of it in Series 7. You kind of saw an inkling as people started to play with Regirock and Regice and all those other Regis that were a little bit more popular. Registeel kind of started to make a impact. And then we got Series 8, and it kind of fell back down. And as Series 8 developed, it kind of came back up as just this really bulky, unanswerable Steel type. It was real good into Zacian just because Zacian had to carry Sacred Sword to beat it. And if it wasn't carrying Sacred Sword, a lot of the times Zacian just got walled by it. And now that we're in Series 9, it's made a huge splash in this format. It's very in the same vein of Chansey when it comes to stall. Once it gets those defense boosts up, Registeel just takes over the game and you just barely deal any damage to it. So it's kind of started to cement itself into the format even though it has such a low play rate right now. I believe Tiki had a Registeel team featured on Cybertron's YouTube channel just a while back. That's kind of what spurred this episode on, just because I really liked the playstyles of seeing Registeel there and I thought it was really cool. So partners for Registeel. Things that make Registeel good, it's kind of like stalling out the game, bulk, things like that. So you want to kind of bring Intimidate, you kind of want to bring Screens. Landorus T is a very good partner because a lot of switching happens with Landorus Therian, and Registeel tanks a lot of the hits that Landorus doesn't want to. So it's just, and vice versa works the same way, so it's just kind of a good partnership there. Grimmsnarl's a really good partner too, just because you can do like Lag and Tail things to where you get your boosts off first. You could do Thunder Wave, Scary Face, Screens. Grimmsnarl just has a lot of things that Registeel likes to play with. Alongside Registeel, you usually have hyper offensive threats. Things like Spectrier, Regieleki, Galarian Moltres, Pokemon that could take over the game by themselves, to where Registeel doesn't have to be the end-all be-all, but Registeel ends up being a backup plan if you need it. Other common partners are things like Rillaboom, other ground immunities, Levitate users, flying Pokemon. Togekiss is a very popular one just because it's immune to ground and it resists fighting. So just things to think about there if you're looking for partners and you just are stumped. Looking at the breakdown of moves and items and things like that, there's not a whole lot to talk about really. The big three moves are Body Press, Iron Defense, and Protect. The common sets right now run Amnesia and then Leftovers, and that's kind of just what they do. Other sets run Sand Tomb and Flash Cannon. I personally like running Flash Cannon on my Registeel just so I can hit those types more effectively, because things like Spectrier can definitely wall you and be an issue. So building with Registeel, as being an endgame threat, a lot of the time it kind of requires more support than the average Pokemon. Like we mentioned, playing something with like Landorus, Grimmsnarl, other Intimidators, Screens, Snarls, things like that, to where your opponent's damage is going to be reduced. It's going to just be a boon for your Registeel game plan. And Registeel takes a couple turns. Things like Redirection's really good. Having other threats to kind of just pull attention away from it's also really good. A real good pairing is Spectrier, Clefairy, and like Registeel, because Clef's a really powerful lead, and then Clefairy also facilitates the Registeel plan if that's what you need to do. And it's just kind of this really cool little core there. And one of the things about playing with Registeel is trying to figure out what your opponent's going to be doing, like what their game plan is from Team Select. Bringing Registeel in against a team that has three weaknesses against it is probably not the best idea. So definitely try to figure out what your opponent's going to be doing from Team Select, and if Registeel's not the right choice, then probably just leave it at home kind of situation. So looking at the movesets for Registeel, as I mentioned earlier, it's got the one job just being a stall wall and try to win damage races in 1v1s. So the EVs kind of always just lean towards bulk, since its only damaging move is based off its defense and not its attack. As we can see here, the first set is Iron Defense, Amnesia Protect, Body Press with leftovers, max HP, good defense investment, some special defense investment. This is the standard, what you're going to see most of the time. The second set's something more along the lines of what I like to play. I'm a little bit less special and defensive. I have a little bit of speed, so I can actually outspeed opposing Registeel. And then Body Press kind of just is there as your main damage dealer, but you also have Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon means you can max this Pokemon and do max Knuckles and max Steel Spike specifically. So if you have an attacker alongside your Registeel and you need to get an attack boost, you can max Knuckle and give your partner an attack boost. Same thing with defense boosts. It's just kind of just like pseudo coaching on your Registeel if you have to max it. So, beating Registeel. Diversifying your damage types is really good against Registeel because it can only click Iron Defense or can only click Amnesia once a turn. So if you sucker them into clicking Iron Defense and you have Earth Power, you're going to get a little bit better chip damage than if you clicked High Horsepower into it and things like that. Don't forget to just try to get lucky. Pokemon is a luck-based game. There is a lot of RNG that comes into it. Don't give up too early. You can always get a crit. Just hope for the best, play it out, don't give up too soon. And because most Registeel only carry Body Press as their damaging move, Ghosts are actually a really good option into it. It's kind of just unintuitive a lot of the times, but because Body Press is a fighting type move, you can switch in your Spectrier or your Dragapult and kind of tank that hit and not have to worry too much about the Registeel until it's your Ghost versus Registeel. So wrapping up with Registeel, as being one of the best stall walls in the game, it does the job very, very well. It's very reminiscent of Ferrothorn from Series 5, where it kind of just sits there, sets up a couple iron defenses, uses its leftovers to heal back up to full between it protects and whatnot, and kind of just chip away at you with its body press. Playing with Registeel, try to pick off the weaknesses before they become a problem. Things like hitting Urshifu, hitting Garchomp, hitting Landorus. Taking them out before Registeel can actually come out and do the setup thing is probably going to facilitate your plan better than just throwing Registeel out to the wolves. And Registeel, as I mentioned, is a real good switch-in for a lot of Pokemon. Being resistant to ice is real good as a pairing with Landorus, because Landorus can also just U-turn in and out. And then you can bring Landorus back in to eat a ground type attack for your Registeel and just keep doing that switch back and forth. You get to cycle Intimidate, you get to keep your Landorus healthy. Registeel's not taking a whole lot of damage, and it gets to heal back up with leftovers every turn, so it's just a real good pairing there. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone for watching and hanging out and listening to me ramble about Registeel today. Make sure to check us out on Twitter. All of our handles are there on the screen right now. Check the Discord link down below for our Discord community server. Everyone's great there. Whole lot going on. I know we're talking about a potential draft league coming up in the end of July, so keep your ears open for that one. And remember to just hit that subscribe button. It's nothing from you but just getting us notifications every day, because we upload every day, but you can just turn those notifications off if you don't want to see it. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free. And with that being said, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever in the world, and we will see you all next week. Bye, guys.